Most people break long before life truly tests them. Not because life is overly cruel, but because their minds are too soft. They let their emotions take the wheel. They let other people's opinions define their reality. They let fear make the decisions for them. And when pressure hits, they crumble. But Machiavelli saw what most never will. The strongest mind isn't necessarily the kindest. It's the one that's most disciplined, most controlled. You believe your mind is a throne, and if you don't rule it, someone else will. Being mentally untouchable doesn't happen by accident. You don't just wake up one day immune to judgment or chaos. It's built piece by piece through discipline, strategy, and emotional detachment. The world will constantly test you. It will use rejection, betrayal, and failure to see if you stand strong. Most people will fall apart, but you aren't most people. You're here because you're tired of letting emotions dictate your reality. You want to control your reactions, your focus, and your peace, like a king silently ruling his kingdom completely. So, ask yourself, do you control your mind, or does the world control it for you? The answer will shape your destiny. Let the world control your emotions, and you'll always be its victim. Take control of your mind, and you become untouchable. Untouchable by failure, betrayal, and chaos. From this moment, start thinking like Machiavelli. Detach from emotion. Observe human behavior. Arm yourself with discipline, and let silence be your weapon. Once you master your mind, nothing can disturb your peace again. Before we dive into the 7 ruthless lessons, drop this in the comments. From today, I choose strength over emotion. Lesson 1. Control the narrative. Power always begins with perception. The way others see you dictates how they treat you, trust you, and even fear you. Machiavelli understood that the world isn't ruled by truth, it's ruled by appearance. People don't judge your intentions, they judge your presentation. They don't analyze your mind, they respond to your image. In a society obsessed with appearances, the one who controls the story controls reality itself. You can be wise, skilled, or powerful, but if you let others define your story, you surrender your crown before the battle even begins. Truth alone rarely protects you. It's often quiet, subtle, easily overlooked. Machiavelli said, "Men judge by the eye rather than the hand, because everyone can see, but few can touch." In other words, the world reacts to what it sees, not what truly exists. People decide your value before you even speak. They judge your strength by your posture, your calmness, your tone, and your mystery. If you look uncertain, the world will devour you. If you look controlled, they'll hesitate before testing you. To be mentally untouchable, you must become the author of your own narrative. Shape how others interpret your silence, your actions, even your mistakes. Never over-explain. The moment you start defending yourself, you've already given away your authority. A calm silence speaks louder than desperate words. Let people wonder. Let them guess. The less they know, the more power you hold. Every room is a battlefield of perception. The loudest seek attention. The smartest seek control. When you enter, don't announce who you are. Let your presence speak first. People sense confidence long before they understand it. They feel authority long before they hear it. Every gesture, every pause, every subtle glance sends a message. I am in command. You don't need validation. You need precision. When you control perception, you bend reality. A person who appears composed is seen as strong. A person who looks desperate is seen as weak. You can face chaos and remain calm, and that alone will protect you more than 1,000 words ever could. Machiavelli believed reputation is the foundation of power. He wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are. Never forget that. Appear strong, even when uncertain. Appear unshaken, even under pressure. Control your tone, your gaze, your words, and your energy. Let your silence be louder than the noise around you. When people try to label you, don't react. Rewrite the label through your actions. When underestimated, let results speak. When questioned, respond with calm confidence. Control isn't manipulation, it's direction. It's how your energy and image are perceived in a chaotic world. Once you master this, you stop chasing validation and start commanding respect. You no longer live by others' definitions. You define yourself. The one who owns his story owns his destiny. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I control my image. Lesson 2. Detach from emotion. Emotion is the easiest weapon the world uses to control you. The moment someone can trigger your anger, fear, or sadness, they own you. Machiavelli understood this deeply. He observed that people who react emotionally are predictable, and predictable minds are easy to manipulate. Detachment is not coldness, it's hidden strength. It's the ability to watch chaos unfold without letting it take root in your mind. When you detach, you stop wasting energy on insults, disappointments, or false expectations. You respond with control instead of reacting with emotion. And in that moment, you become dangerous. Most people pride themselves on being real, thinking that showing emotion is strength. But uncontrolled emotion is vulnerability disguised as honesty. React too quickly, and you reveal your triggers. Others sense it, often unconsciously, and they will exploit it. That's how manipulation works. Not through force, but through emotional access. Machiavelli once said, "The wise man does at once what the fool does eventually." The fool reacts immediately. The wise observe, wait, and strike when the moment serves them. Detachment doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you stop being ruled by feelings. You can feel pain without drowning in it. You can recognize betrayal without letting it destroy your peace. The key is simple. You are not your emotions. You are the observer. Every emotion is like a storm, loud, wild, and temporary. Don't chase the thunder. Stand still and let it pass. That stillness is power. It's what Machiavelli called the strength of command, the ability to remain calm when everyone else collapses under pressure. People fear calmness because it's unreadable, and what can't be read can't be controlled. Imagine this. Two people face the same insult. One explodes in anger, loses control, and reveals weakness. The other meets it with a smile, observes, and redirects. Without saying a word, the second person wins. He didn't react. He mastered the situation. Detachment allows you to control what leaves your mind. You choose when to respond, when to act, and when to wait. That control separates the rulers from the ruled. Machiavelli advised leaders to appear merciful, faithful, humane, and sincere, but to always frame their mind so they could shift when necessary. If your emotion strengthens your purpose, use it. If it weakens your position, silence it. Emotion must serve you, not enslave you. Detachment also protects your peace. You stop reacting to everything. Life becomes quieter. You stop wasting energy proving yourself, explaining to people who will never understand, or expecting fairness in a world driven by power. Emotional distance gives clarity. You see patterns instead of problems. You stop taking everything personally and start using it as data. That is when you start winning silently. Master emotional detachment, and nothing, no insult, no betrayal, no failure can truly touch you. You might bend, but you never break. You move with stillness, not fear, because no one can shake a mind that refuses to react. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I feel, but I do not fall. Lesson 3. Expect betrayal. Betrayal is not an exception in life. It's a pattern. Loyalty is temporary, and the sooner you accept this, the faster you stop being shocked when people turn against you. Machiavelli warned that loyalty lasts only as long as it serves someone's interest. When their interest ends, so does their devotion. To survive in a world built on self-interest, you must replace blind trust with strategic awareness. The wise do not rely on promises. They create systems that protect them when those promises fail. Most people suffer because they expect consistency in an inconsistent world. They believe loyalty is sacred, but in reality, it's conditional. Expecting betrayal isn't paranoia, it's preparation. Machiavelli said, "The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present." People will shift loyalty when it benefits them. Understanding this lets you stop taking betrayal personally. It's not evil. It's human nature revealing itself. When you see it clearly, betrayal is no longer a tragedy. It's information. It shows who values advantage over integrity, who pretends out of need, and who abandons you when the winds change. Strategic minds do not rely on loyalty. They rely on structure. They don't tie survival to people. They tie it to systems. When you trust emotion, you make yourself dependent. When you trust design, you make yourself independent. Always have a plan that works even if everyone turns their back. Position yourself so no single person can destroy your peace or progress. That's not cold, it's intelligent. Detachment from blind trust doesn't kill connection, it refines it. You begin to value actions over words, patterns over promises. When you expect betrayal, you stop over-investing in illusions. You notice flattery, inconsistencies, and hidden motives. You read intentions before they reach your heart. Machiavelli believed foresight is the greatest form of power. A leader who predicts deception never loses control. He wrote, "The wise man does not expose himself needlessly to danger, since there are few things for which he cares sufficiently. But he is willing in great crisis to give even his life, knowing that under certain conditions it is not worthwhile to live." This is not pessimism, it's realism. You learn to care selectively. You protect your energy from unworthy causes and unstable allies. Most people get destroyed not because they're betrayed, but because they refuse to believe it could happen. They live in denial until the knife is already in their back. The Machiavellian mindset removes that illusion. It accepts human inconsistency as fact and prepares accordingly. You don't build walls around your heart. You build gates. Gates that open only for those who prove loyalty through time and adversity. And even then, you never forget that anyone can change. That's not cynicism, it's power. Alert, cautious, aware, but never weak. When you expect betrayal, you stop fearing it. You become mentally untouchable because nothing surprises you. Strategy becomes your shield. Clarity becomes your armor. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I trust strategy, not sympathy. Lesson 4. Appear calm, think cold. In a chaotic world, calmness is the most intimidating form of strength. Most people mistake composure for weakness, but Machiavelli saw it as a weapon. When you appear calm while others panic, you project authority without saying a word. A calm mind sees what the restless cannot. The cold thinker spots patterns hidden behind emotion. When you stay serene amid disorder, people start to fear your control. They sense that nothing can shake you, and that mystery becomes dominance. Machiavelli wrote, "A prince must learn how not to be good." He didn't mean cruelty, he meant emotional discipline. The ability to detach from kindness when it threatens authority. Being good is easy. Staying calm when everything burns around you, that is power. When people expect you to break and you don't, their illusion of control over you collapses. Calmness terrifies the unstable. It makes the impulsive hesitate. They cannot understand why you don't react, why you don't argue, why you don't crumble. That silence reflects their chaos. The world respects the one who remains centered under pressure because it's rare. Most minds are slaves to reaction. They speak too quickly, decide too soon, and lose everything to emotion. The cold strategist pauses, observes, and chooses exactly when to act. Patience is not weakness, it's control over time. Machiavelli said, "The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves." One must be a fox to recognize traps and a lion to frighten wolves. That balance requires a calm surface and a calculating mind beneath it. You must appear tranquil like water, yet sharp like ice beneath the surface. People should see no trace of your tension, doubt, or fear. The less they know about your emotional state, the more unpredictable and powerful you become. Unpredictability forces others to play on your terms. To appear calm, train your inner voice. Every irritation, insult, or unexpected problem must be met with one question. does reacting help me win? If the answer is no, remain silent. That silence unsettles more than anger ever could. A calm reaction ends arguments faster than aggression. The cold mind wins through energy, not words. Even surrounded by hostility, keep your tone slow, your eyes steady, and your gestures minimal. Confidence is shown through stillness, not noise. This lesson isn't about hiding emotion, it's about mastering it. You control the theater of your presence. Your expressions, your movements, your energy, they all serve your advantage. Appear rational when others are irrational. Smile when they expect rage. Walk slowly when they rush. Show that you're never moved unless you choose to be. Over time, this aura becomes armor. No one knows your breaking point because you never reveal it. You become the calm in every storm, the observer among reactors, the strategist among victims. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My calmness is my power. Lesson 5. Keep power in silence. Silence is not emptiness. It is control in its purest form. The more you speak, the more you reveal. Every unnecessary word becomes a window into your mind. And once people can read you, they can predict you. Machiavelli understood that power is preserved through mystery. Silence is not a lack of communication. It's a deliberate strategy. When you speak less, people fill the quiet with their own fears, doubts, and assumptions. That uncertainty becomes your advantage. The quiet person is never ignored. They're studied, analyzed, and whispered about. Most underestimate those who speak little until they act. By the time they do, it's already too late to stop them. Words are cheap. Everyone uses them to seek validation. But true power doesn't explain itself. When you justify your choices, you give others authority to judge them. When you argue, you admit that someone else's opinion matters. Silence destroys that illusion. It sends a clear message. You don't owe anyone understanding. Machiavelli said, "Never was anything great achieved without danger." Even restraint carries risk, but silence is a calculated one. It invites misunderstanding, but it also commands fear. People don't fear what they can predict. They fear what they cannot interpret. The silent observer sees everything the loud forget to notice. You can read tone, micro-expressions, inconsistencies, and hidden details without revealing a thing about yourself. Silence concentrates power like a blade sheath, but ready. Never underestimate how silence shifts perception. Someone who speaks rarely is assumed to think deeply. Their words carry weight because they are scarce. You don't have to be the smartest in the room. You just have to be the one who doesn't need to speak. That alone separates you from the impulsive and insecure. Over time, silence becomes your identity. It makes you unpredictable, respected, and feared all at once. And when you do decide to speak, your words cut like a weapon because they are precise, not habitual. Power isn't loud. It's measured. The strongest presence doesn't need noise. It relies on composure, observation, and patience. Keep your plans hidden, your feelings unreadable, and your words minimal. When people can't decode you, they can't defeat you. Silence keeps you untouchable, untamed, and one step ahead. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence speaks power. Lesson 6. Master the art of absence. Presence loses value when it becomes constant. The more available you are, the less you are respected. Machiavelli understood this. Scarcity creates influence. A leader who appears too often becomes ordinary. One who appears rarely becomes a legend. Absence is not withdrawal, it's strategy. It creates distance that breeds curiosity, authority, and longing. When people can't always reach you, they start to imagine your worth. They replay your words, analyze your silence, and anticipate your return. That anticipation is power. Every great strategist knows timing matters more than frequency. Appear too often and your presence loses weight. Appear selectively, and every entrance feels like an event. The weak crave constant attention because they fear being forgotten. The strong withdraw deliberately, making their presence heavier. Machiavelli said, Men are driven by two principal impulses, either by love or by fear. The wise understand that absence can create both. When you disappear, people either miss you or fear losing your favor. Both emotions give you control. Constant exposure dulls mystery. When people know everything about you, they stop respecting you. When you become slightly out of reach, their imagination amplifies your value far more than visibility ever could. Absence also protects your mind from noise. Constant interaction drains focus and exposes your patterns. The Machiavellian thinker values solitude, not for comfort, but for recalibration. When you remove yourself from the crowd, you regain perspective. The crowd moves by emotion. The detached mind moves by clarity. To master absence, retreat without explanation. Don't announce your silence. Don't justify your distance. Simply vanish when necessary, and return only when your presence serves a purpose. Those who notice your absence reveal who truly values you. Those who don't reveal who never mattered. The rare minds understand the rhythm of presence. They know when to step forward and when to disappear. Machiavelli advised rulers to manage visibility carefully. Distance sustains power. A constant flame burns out fast, but a controlled one lasts through time. You don't need to be everywhere to be felt. You need to be remembered. Your absence must speak louder than others' presence. Let people wonder where you are, what you're thinking, and why you withdrew. That uncertainty keeps you relevant even when you're gone. Disappearing strategically also filters loyalty. Those who remain consistent during your absence are the ones who truly align with your vision. Absence becomes a test of character. It separates the curious from the committed. Most people seek attention because they measure worth by reaction. But reaction is fragile. True worth is measured by the silence that follows your absence. If people still talk about you, reference you, or try to interpret your actions while you're gone, you've already built power that doesn't depend on presence. When you master absence, you command attention without effort. You become an idea, not just a person, something that lingers even when unseen. The world chases what it can't have and respects what it can't control. Step back when you feel the urge to overprove yourself. Create distance that magnifies your value. Disappear, not to hide, but to remind the world that your time and energy are privileges, not guarantees. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My absence amplifies my power. Lesson 7. Rule your mind. Every form of power begins within the mind. If you cannot command your thoughts, no strategy, wealth, or influence will ever last. Machiavelli understood this. The greatest victories are won in silence, within the walls of one's own mind. The world belongs to those who can direct their focus while others drown in distraction. To rule your mind is to master every battlefield, because every external challenge starts as an internal reaction. The strongest person is not the one who controls others. It's the one who controls himself when everything around him tries to shake him. When you own your inner world, nothing external can truly touch you. Most people lose the fight long before it begins. They let anxiety dictate their direction and emotion dictate their decisions. Their thoughts move like leaves in the wind, driven by circumstance, guided by fear. Machiavelli saw this weakness clearly. He wrote, "The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him." What he truly meant, your environment reflects your mind. If your surroundings are chaotic, it's because your mind allows chaos. If your world is noisy, it's because your thoughts are unguarded. Control begins with awareness. Observe your thoughts without judgment. Discipline them like soldiers who obey command. Your mind is both your servant and your master. If you fail to govern it, it will betray you. Every doubt, fear, and insecurity will rise and rule your decisions. But once you learn to detach from impulsive thinking, your mind becomes a weapon sharper than any blade. Machiavellian strength is not born from aggression. It's born from composure. The disciplined thinker moves slower, but every move cuts deeper. He doesn't allow the past to haunt him or the future to overwhelm him. He lives in deliberate control of the present. That level of awareness separates conquerors from the conquered. Mental mastery requires constant training. Replace fear with logic, emotion with intention, noise with silence. Every time your mind wanders toward weakness, pull it back through self-command. Every moment you resist impulse, you grow stronger. Over time, your thoughts start serving you instead of sabotaging you. The world cannot influence someone who is internally aligned. When insults, betrayal, or failure arrive, they lose power because your mind refuses to give them meaning. Power doesn't come from resisting the world. It comes from mastering how your mind interprets it. Machiavelli believed reason must always rule over desire. Desire blinds judgment. Reason directs it. The one who remains detached while decisive becomes untouchable. Every empire begins as a disciplined thought. Every downfall begins as a distracted one. When your mind is ruled by fear, the world manipulates you through it. When your mind is ruled by strength, no manipulation can succeed. Control of the mind equals control of destiny. You stop living reactively and start moving deliberately, step by step, choice by choice, unshaken by chaos. Rule your mind as a sovereign rules a kingdom. Protect it from invasion by ignorance, corruption, and doubt. Feed it discipline. Guard it with focus. Let silence be its throne. Once you rule your thoughts, you no longer chase peace. You become it. Drop this affirmation in the comments. My mind obeys only me. Being mentally untouchable doesn't mean you feel nothing. It doesn't mean you become cold or disconnected. It means nothing, no insult, betrayal, or failure can control you. You become the master of your reactions, the owner of your focus, the architect of your peace. Every challenge becomes a lesson. Every conflict becomes data. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity to reinforce control. Machiavelli taught that power is earned through discipline, observation, and strategy, not luck or temporary favor. When you apply these lessons, you don't just survive the world. You move through it with authority, clarity, and unstoppable calm. Remember, control begins within. Detachment protects you. Silence amplifies you. Absence increases your value. Calmness intimidates. Strategy shields you from betrayal. Perception shapes reality. Each lesson builds on the last, creating a fortress of mental strength that cannot be breached. The untouchable mind doesn't react. It dominates through presence, preparation, and patience. You stop reacting to life and start directing it. Step into it. Build it. Live it. Let the world test you, and watch as nothing can ever shake you again. Drop your affirmations in the comments and commit. I own my mind, I own my destiny.